Today is Array Cardio Day 2, where we're going to learn about a few new array methods that come in handy when you're working with data. So we've got two arrays here with some people and some comments. And first we want to learn about .sum and .every. .sum will check if at least one thing in your array meets what you're looking for. So we'll say const is adult equals and call .sum against it. Now, sum will take a function that will check it for every single one that we have. And that's going to give us our person. And we will say if person.year, and now we need like the current year. So you could take the current year and minus that. Or what we could do is we could say const current year equals new date dot get full year. So you say if current year minus person.year is greater or equal to 19, then return true. And what that should do, if we console log is adult, is give us true because there is someone who is greater or equal to. There we go. A little thing you can do in console log is if you pop curly brackets around it, it's going to show you the name of the variable as well as the value. So the is adult is going to be equal to true. That makes sense. Now we can make this a lot simpler. I'm going to rewrite it here. Const is adult equals people.sum person. And from that, we'll have a block. And we need the current year again. And then we can simply just return current year minus person.year is greater or equal to 19. And that's going to be a lot simpler than writing it like this. I think it reads a little bit nicer. We use an arrow function here, and we return the current year. If you want to be a total hot shot, you could take this entire thing, pop it in some parentheses here, get rid of that, and then use the implicit return without the curly brackets here. Woo! Hot shot. That would do the same thing. Let's save it. I would have to comment this one out so we don't duplicate the variable, and you still get true in there. All right, let's do the next one, which is going to be .every. So is everybody 19? So we can simply just take this, what we've done here, and replace it with .every, and it counts all adults. So log adults. That's going to give us false. Why is that giving us false? Because not every single item in the array is going to meet our criteria. So some will check if one, every will check for every single one of them. Next up, we have array.prototype.find. And find is kind of like filter, but instead of returning you a subset of the array, it's going to return you the first item that it finds. So we want to find the comment with the ID of 823423. So say const comment equals, and we'll take this comments array. We'll call .find on it. We will run a function against it, which will give us the comment. And we'll say if comment.id, I believe it is. Let's double check that. There we go. Comment.id is equal to that. Is it a string? No, it's a number. Then return true. And then we should be able to console log the comment. Good. We've got that one specific comment. This is super good. Now, take a second, pause the video, try to convert this to a arrow function with an implicit return. So what we could do instead is const comment. Whoa! Comment. There we go. Comments.find comment. And then we simply just return this bit right here. And because that is going to be true or false, we don't need to have an if statement because it's just going to return a Boolean of true or false. And then that is a nice one-liner rather than having to do it in that long. And then that should still work exactly the same. Good. Next up, and finally, we have .findIndex, which is going to find where something is inside of the array. Let's say I wanted to delete one of these, but in order to delete something from an array, you need to know where in the array it actually is. So if we've only got this ID, we would say const index equals comments.findIndex, and then we do the exact same thing we did before. Comment is equal to that. And then if we console log the index, it'll tell us that it is 1, which means it should be the second item in our array. There we go. Now, how do you delete it? Well, there's two ways you could delete it from the array. We could simply just say comments.splice. We could start at the index and go for 1. Let's take a look at what we got here. If we type in comments now, console.table our comments, you see that the super good comment is totally gone. Or what you could also do is, and this is very popular in the Redux world, is you create a new array of the updated comments, where you would say something like const new comments equals an array. And what you do is you just take a copy of the comments before it. So we say comments.slice. We start at 0 and we go until the index. And then we start at the index plus 1 and go until the end. So you don't pass it anything. And that's just going to build a new array of the comments. So if I console.table the comments, good. Console.table new comments. Oh, what did we forget here? It gave us an array of 2 arrays. So what's wrong with this? It's because we did not spread the items into the new array. And again, if this is not making sense to you, feel free to stick with your splice or go back into my ES6 videos and check out the spread operator ones. So if we console.table the new comments, that one's gone. However, we still have the original comments array where it says super good. So that's just a couple more array methods that you should keep in your back pocket. Knowing all of the possible array methods and when to use them can come in really handy when you're massaging your data.